Right, I'm going to take a moment to talk you through the Goodrig phenomenon. Basically, evolved from the helicopter rig many moons ago, and my good friend Frank Warwick on a lake called Reedsmere went on to develop what was known at the time as the short rig. He then took it to Oxford, passed it on to the likes of Terry Hearn and Nick Hellier, and they then evolved it and is now known as the Choddy. Right, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to tie it up and the components you need to use with it. Now, what you can do very easily, go into any good tackle shop and get a Goodrig safe zone leader. Now this has all the components that you need to use a helicopter Choddy system. On there, let me just show you, got a quick link that comes on there. That allows you to attach a lead where you've cut the swivel off. So you've just got the brass loop on there, that goes on, or stainless loop in this case, straight on there. You've then got your helicopter sleeve, which goes over the top, giving it a really nice, flush, streamlined finish. Above that, we've got a 4mm bead. Again, that's weedy green colour to match the weedy green safe zone leader. And then an extra helicopter sleeve. These were made specifically for the job of using a helicopter rig. You've got a little groove in there that allows you to tie PVA string around it to keep it tight if you're going to cast out of a PVA bag. But with a Choddy, that's not necessary. Okay, let's get down to the business end. Here, I've got a size 11 ring swivel. Okay, I like the small little ring swivel because that allows the pop-up bait to sit nice and pretty. It's not putting too much strain on it and trying to pull it down. To that, I tie a 3-turn blood knot whilst using a high memory monofilament. Okay, this is called a Bristle Filament, 15-pound breaking strain, more than ample for any carp you're going to land. By putting a 3-turn blood knot in it, it's important to just ease it down really slowly, so avoid kinking it. Do it nice and gently, work the knot, take your time, very important part of that. Once you've done that, you've then left with sort of 3 or 4 inches of bristle to work with to do the other end. I pass that through the front of the outturned eye of the Choddy hook. Now let me talk to you about the Choddy hook. We developed these specifically for the job to be used with stiff monofilaments or fluorocarbons. What it does, it allows the line to exit the hook at the right angle. With an inturned eye, it can sort of kick out too far and not only close the gap, but also during a prolonged fight of a big carp, it can sort of wear down the line and sometimes break it. Now, as you can see there, that's got a beautiful angle, comes out lovely. And what we've done on a lot of the sort of popular Goodrig patterns, they've got a straight point. Now, we've found with a lot of the fishing we do that a straight point on a short rig can sometimes result in a lost fish. We've beaked it just like the wide gape. The wide gape has the reputation of being one of the most awesome big carp catchers in the country, and very few people lose any. I know Gaz Fairham and a few of my other mates have lost probably 2 carp in the last 4 years on them. So really, really impressive hook to landed ratio. So once you've got that, the line goes through the front of the eye, down, you then make a loop at the end. This is like a spade end knot, and then whip up 6 times around the loop, and then passing the tag end back through the loop I've made. Pull a tool, take it to my mouth, and once again wet it and work it down really, really slowly. The last thing you want is to kink it. Now, when you're first tying this up, you might get it wrong a couple of times, so have a bit of a practice run at home until you've got it perfectly right. That'll be that. Once I've tied it down, it should be sat with a nice bulk, bit of knot around the eye. Next thing, get a rig ring. I like to use a small rig ring because it's just got enough size, not a micro one, the small one, it just moves around the D lovely. Put that onto the tag end, then push the final part of the tag end back through the back of the eye, coming out the front. You'll then have, again, a bit of excess bristle poking out the front. Cut it down so you've got about 1/4 of an inch showing. Now's the tricky part. Get the lighter, ensure that with your fingers you're covering the knot and the line nearest to the eye, and then just with the lighter, blob it. Slowly blob it, just to give you a little bit of, I don't know, like a little area at the end of the bristle that stops that from pulling back out the other end. And you'll be left with a lovely little gorgeous D like that, which allows that pop-up to move around beautifully. Okay, then same thing with the lighter, down at the knot end, take the lighter and again cover everything, blob it down nice and slowly. You'd be left with a couple of mil. Now what these blobs do, obviously at the D end it stops the tag end from pulling back through the eye. At this end, if you're in a prolonged fight and in the rare instant that your knot might slip, that blob just gives it that extra bit of security. But in all my times of using it, I've never ever wound a carp in and seen that not to have moved at all. The magic part is the curve in the hook link. Basically how you achieve that is by rubbing the filament once you've tied it all off. That warms it up and allows you to shape it, and what I carefully do is just slowly bend that down. That gives you that curve, really aggressive angle. What that means is wherever a fish comes from, whichever direction, that hook can spin round and catch hold. Awesome. Right, now a little bit about how to get the best from it. Now, Mr. Warwick, our Frank, used to fish it like this. Fixed. Now, if you know the depth of silt, then that's how I'd use it. Basically, you've got tension from both ends, so it causes the carp a lot of problems. Whilst the legend that is Mr. Hearn, I know, likes to use it sliding. Again, what this means, wherever you cast it, you know it's going to sit pretty, because that'll penetrate into the silt. That hook link will slide up and just sit nice and pretty, like so. Okay, that's them bits. Let's talk to you a little bit about the right lead to use. If you're fishing short range, deep silt or weed, little square pair like that, I think that's a 2 ounce one. I sometimes use a 1.5 ounce one. Ideal lead for that. Again, if I'm fishing over a hard bottom at range, then the new distance swivel shape, absolutely perfect for the job. And then a little bit about the pop-ups as well. Very, very important with this rig to use a super buoyant pop-up. I've got a cork ball cell that was custom made for me, if you like. They're ideal. They'll stay up for up to 72 hours, no problem at all. And then here, again, little cork ball one that I've rolled myself out of the Polaris mix. That will keep up that size 6 choddy forever. I've seen a few people use this with bottom baits, but that's a big no-no for me. With a lot of uneven bottoms, that rig could be hanging down like a monkey swinging from a tree, so don't go there. The same goes for when using it over seed baits, and when people are putting beds of hemp down, because it's a fashionable rig, some people just like to use it. But what you've got to remember, carp have got their snouts right in the bottom, and that pop-up is a long way away from their mouth, so not the one for fishing over seed baits. However, if you're scattering boilies or using it as a single, then the pop-up and the choddy is an absolutely devastating method.